Down syndrome, also called trisomy 21, is a genetic disorder in which there are extra sets of chromosome 21.
Named after its discoverer and English physician John Langdon Down, Down syndrome is characterized by various degrees of intellectual disability that causes many children to be isolated by their families and society.
Now, every year, World Down Syndrome Day is celebrated on 21st March to create awareness on managing the condition, with experts advocating proper management to enable children living with such condition to lead normal lives.
This year, the theme is Leave No One Behind.
This is a charity football match to raise funds and support intervention programs for individuals with Down syndrome in Nigeria. Down syndrome is a genetic disorder with different levels of physical growth delays and intellectual disability, which could be moderate or severe. An affected parent says superstitious belief and stigmatization against people with the condition is depriving a lot of people with the condition who needed help.
A lot of people think that these children are born as a result of some witchcraft or superstitious reason, but that's not the case. The thing is, we are trying to create the awareness that the condition is just a natural condition. It's not caused by any mother in the village or witchcraft in the village. It just happens.
There is no cure for Down syndrome, but with early specialized education and proper care, they can excel in their unique individual talents.
Down syndrome Foundation in Nigeria, people in the school, drumming, singing, running, sports, basketball, and in running.
I work here for Down syndrome and the children to go and learn everything to play ball.
Caring for a child with Down syndrome is a lifetime commitment, and parents and caregivers need all the support they can receive.
My advice to parents is that they should not hide these kids. They should bring them out because there's ability in them. It's just for you to discover their talent, then from there you develop it for them. There's a whole lot in children with Down syndrome. You just have to look inward in order for you to see.
This is the best way of us doing it, so that we could also create awareness and celebrate them and show that we love them.
Well, I am being joined by the Vice President and Administrator, Down Syndrome Foundation Nigeria, Muiwa Majekodumi. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Down syndrome is one of the most severe mental and neurological challenge we find around, according to reports. And this day, World Down Syndrome Day, has been celebrated about, this is the 14th anniversary or so.
About that, yes, 14th anniversary.
But then, how would you measure the level of awareness and the impact this awareness has created so far over the years?
Well, let me put it this way. I'm a parent. Let me qualify that. I'm a proud parent of a son who has Down syndrome. He's 31 years old this year.
Wow.
So we've been through that grind. And at the time he was born, there was very little knowledge or awareness about the condition. And eventually I found out that there are quite a number of parents who have children with this condition, but they were afraid and embarrassed to come out. What we've done is actually we've created more awareness, we've sensitized people, and more people are coming out. You know, hitherto there was even up to now, there's still a lot of superstition,
yes,
stigmatization. But with the efforts that the foundation has been doing over the years, along with other foundations, a lot of people are now coming out with their children, and the children are excelling. We've had, of course, you saw Solomon, who was talking about, he's an actor. I told you last year that he starred in Wale Adenuga's Super Story.
Yes.
There's another one of ours, Enya, who is about he's starred in the movie.
So how has it been trying to convince parents? Because some of them believe that this child cannot amount to anything. So how has it been working with these parents to help them understand that these children can really excel in whatever field they desire to?
Put it this way, it's because they've seen people like Solomon and a couple of other kids, they're now encouraged to come out. All they needed was just a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of sensitization, you know. A lot of parents are ignorant. Right now, we created that knowledge, and they're coming out. Not as many as they should, because a lot of these kids are still locked up. But we've grown. I mean, with the influx of people coming to our foundation almost every day, you can see that the work we started 18 years ago is bearing fruit. And they're not useless children. And they've seen that in the example of people like Solomon. And
another issue has to do with the talk about early medical intervention.
Yes.
When you look at, do we have that here in terms of experts? How has it been for you?
Well, one of our key areas is encouraging early medical intervention, because some of these children are born with congenital heart diseases. So we encourage people to go for these checks, so that it can be nipped in the bud. That's why we have a program called the Save a Life program. And that we help raise funds to take some of these children abroad for heart surgery. But it's not the response hasn't been encouraging in terms of funds. We've gotten support from the government once in a while, from other corporate bodies, but there are hundreds and thousands of people who have this condition who need to be helped.
Now that brings me to the question of the fact that this is a lifetime commitment for any family that you know, have these children. Right. Tell us how it has been for you, and you know how you have been a source of motivation for other families.
I sincerely hope so. For me, my son is 31 years old this year, by the grace of God. Unlike abroad, where they have a social support system, I think the social support system here is actually the family. You know, and it's the family that, you know, helps, you know, who helps support these children. Lagos State government has started something. They're not quite there yet. You know, they've started this Lagos Disability Funds, Disability Law. Hopefully that will gel, and that will continue with the new administration coming. Ambody has done his best. You know, he's laid the foundation. It's now left for the new government coming in, and I hope that they will take up the baton and continue with the support for the families of children with this condition. So we are looking forward to working more with the government in this regard, and we hope, you know, it will eventually do well for the families.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the program this morning, to speaking with us on Down syndrome. Thank you so much.